Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And let's just get right into this review. So part 3 of the Baddies Caribbean Reunion picks up where the last one left off, where the replacements were called onto the stage. And look, they were all friendly, happy, and smiling, giving everybody a hug, greeting everybody. And then all of a sudden, JL comes out of nowhere and she swings on Biggie. And the look of shock and surprise on Biggie's face was priceless. Now look, I didn't know why JL swung on Biggie because I didn't know that they had beef or any issues with each other. However, I did think that it was weak that Biggie did not defend herself. Like, I understand people keep saying that Biggie's not a fighter, but if she's not a fighter, then why does she get involved in other people's fights throughout the seasons? Because she definitely put her hands on a few people this season and she jumped in some stuff that she had no business jumping into. So I really wasn't that opposed to JL swinging on her, because JL said that the reason why she did that to Biggie of all people is because Biggie swung on Kiva, I guess, at some point during the season. I didn't see that, or I don't remember it happening, but apparently Biggie put her hands on Kiva and that's the reason why she decided to defend Kiva. And I know people will say that JL was wrong for that, and maybe she is wrong for putting her hands on Biggie for something that she wasn't a part of. However, at the end of the day, Biggie also got involved in fights in order to defend Anna and to defend Tasiki and also to defend Mariah, because she snatched the goggles off of Bianca's face during this season and was getting involved in that drama because Bianca was beefing with Mariah. So for this situation, I'm not going to do a double standard. If it's okay for Anna and Biggie to, have each other's backs and jump into each other's fights to defend each other, then I'm not going to say that JL is wrong for having Kiva's back if they built a friendship throughout the season. And Tommie goes to Biggie and she starts yelling, telling Biggie that she needs to defend herself, and she did need to defend herself. Like, Biggie jumps into fights with people that she doesn't even have beef with to defend her friends, and she jumps into fights all the time and swings on people. But then when somebody wants to fight her one-on-one head up, she doesn't want to do it, and she says that she's not going to give people clout, because that's what she kept saying throughout this reunion. She went into the crowd and she started yelling and screaming about how she's not giving JL the clout that she wants off her name, because JL didn't really make a name for herself this season. And I'm sorry, I saw people in the comment section saying that Santana needed to be quiet and he needed to stop trying to get Biggie to fight. But to me, he was right when he told Biggie that by her yelling about the situation, she is giving JL a lot more attention at the reunion that she claims she doesn't want to give her. Unless she's gonna fight JL, there's no reason to keep talking about the situation, and he's right in my opinion. However, I thought that if JL was going to swing on anybody, it would be Meatball, because Meatball was the reason why she had to leave the show early, and Meatball was the one that was threatening her. I don't know if Zeus made it to where the two of them couldn't go near each other or they couldn't fight, but I was just expecting JL and Meatball to get into it because of the history that they have with each other. But I guess Tommie gets pissed off at the way that security is holding Biggie, so she goes over there and she starts yelling at security and she starts swinging on them as well, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with her trying to hit security for doing their jobs. Yes, they do too much sometimes, but I don't feel like she should swing on them because she does that every single season. So she starts swinging on security, and Rollie gets pissed off because she already was beefing with Tommie at the beginning of this reunion. So she goes over there and tells Tommie to stop swinging on security. So the two of them start fighting with each other. And I can tell that Tommie was drunk or something, because the way that she was acting and the way that she was doing in this fight, it just seemed like she wasn't fully on top of her game. But to me, neither one of them won that fight, because Rollie was pulling Tommie's wig and, Tommie was pulling on Rollie's bonnet, and security was pulling them away from each other. So to me, nobody won that fight. Now, Tommie gets even more pissed off because security is all over her. They don't want to let her go because they don't know what she's going to do. So she starts swinging on security again, and Natalie goes to security and tells them to let Tommie go because, she doesn't want things to escalate. And security did not listen to Natalie. They kept holding on to Tommie. So Tommie started swinging on them again. And she starts throwing stuff too, which is crazy. Like, I think she picks up a little side table and she tries to throw it. And then on top of that, she gets backstage and she starts trying to break cameras, and she starts swinging on the cameramen and insulting them for their jobs. I was just like, she's doing too much at this point. Like, I know people like Tommie and she can be entertaining, but when she does this to the workers on the set of Zeus, I just don't really like that, because the cameramen are doing their jobs. Like, yes, if you tell them to get the camera out of your face, I can understand in those moments you don't want the camera in your face, but trying to break cameras scissors and putting your hands on people who did nothing to you, to me, is insane. Now, when things finally end up calming down and Tommie's backstage arguing with Bobby, which I don't know what they were arguing about, but I think she swung on him again. He said that she smacked him, and so they were calling each other names backstage. Things were just getting crazy between them. But on set, Janisha ended up asking JL why she swung on Biggie the way that she did, and she said that Biggie acted like she was cool with the replacements, but then as soon as she left and the replacements came into the house, she started flip-flopping and she was against the replacements, like she was being rude to Nunu and Kiva when they came into the house, and she didn't like that. And then she said that she didn't like that when Meatball threatened her with a knife, she said that Biggie was laughing about it, and then when Meatball took the scissors out, Biggie was laughing about it again, so she said that that's the reason why she smacked Biggie. Now, I still think that J.O. should have smacked Meatball instead of Biggie. However, like I said before, I'm not opposed to Biggie getting smacked because of the things that she was doing throughout the season that I didn't agree with. And while J.O. and Biggie were having this back and forth about why she smacked her, Kiva jumps up because she said that she has a problem with Biggie because Biggie claimed that she hit her when she didn't. And I was confused by that a little bit because I could have sworn that it was Anna who said that, you know, Kiva swung on Biggie. Like, I thought that it was her that said that, and I thought that Biggie was saying that Kiva didn't hit her. So I was confused about that whole situation. But Kiva got up and she was asking Biggie to fight, but Biggie said that she wasn't going to fight her. So Kiva decided to let the situation go with Biggie. But here's my issue with Kiva, because I don't think that Kiva is a scary person, but I think she was definitely afraid of Tasiki because Tasiki ended up going up to Kiva and she's talking to her. And Tasiki is trying to tell Kiva that she let the fans get in her head just like Diamond the Body did, and then Diamond the Body ended up getting beat up and having to go to the hospital because she allowed the fans to get to her head. Now, I don't know if Kiva allowed the fans to get to her head, but I do agree with Tasiki that Diamond the Body absolutely let the fans get into her head when it came to fighting Tasiki because she ended up missing a tooth, her lip was busted, she looked crazy as hell. But Kiva starts getting a little bit of an attitude with Tasiki, so Tasiki ends up asking her, whoa, like, do you want to fight? Like, what's up? And that's when Kiva started trying not to fight Tasiki, and she started telling Tasiki that she loves her, but she didn't feel like Tasiki felt the same way about her throughout the season. And so I definitely feel like Kiva was trying to save herself from getting beat up by Tasiki because I just could tell that she did not want it with Tasiki because she was ready to jump up to fight Biggie, but when it came time to almost get into a fight with Tasiki, she made sure to clear that up really quickly. But one thing I will say that I agreed with J.O. and some of the other replacements about was when J.O. said during this reunion that since Anna was on the injured reserved list and nobody can put their hands on her, she shouldn't have been allowed to put her hands on other people. And I completely agree with that because if she's off limits because her face was fractured, then why is she allowed to jump into fights and get involved in fights and put her hands on people if they can't do the same to her? So I definitely do agree with J.O. when it came to that. Now, all of a sudden, Dia comes out and Heaven just goes over there and she starts fighting Dia. Now, look, Dia tried to claim that Heaven snuck her. Heaven definitely beat up Dia. I'm sorry. Dia can't fight. We already know that throughout the season. She cannot fight. At least she will fight, but she can't fight, okay? Because Heaven definitely took over that entire fight. But Dia kept saying that Heaven snuck her, but I don't feel like Heaven snuck her. Like, she was looking right at Heaven when the two of them started fighting. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I watched it and it looked like she was looking right at Heaven when she did it. So I was confused by that, but honestly, I don't even know why the two of them were beefing. Like, I don't remember seeing them get into it at all this season. I guess they were yelling back and forth and they were saying that it was some beef going on between the two of them on social media. I mean, Dia is saying that Heaven spoke on her dead brother, which is definitely disrespectful. But according to Natalie and some of the other girls at the reunion, they were saying that I think Dia or one of them made a diss track about Heaven, and that's the reason why they started beefing. I really don't know the origin of their beef, so if you know, let me know down in the comment section because I was really confused. But all of a sudden, Dia is yelling and then J.O. just swings on her. I was confused by that, okay? I didn't agree with J.O. swinging on Dia because I just didn't see the point of it and I didn't know why it happened. So maybe there was a reason for it. I just didn't see it. I just thought that it was weak of her to swing on Dia, especially after she just finished fighting Heaven. I just didn't think that it was a point for her to do that. But as much as I didn't think that it was cool for JL to swing on Dia the way that she did, I guess these girls did not want it with JL, because even though she smacked Biggie, not one girl jumped up to fight her, and then she swung on Dia and Dia didn't jump up and try to fight her. So look, maybe they didn't want to fight JL. That's what it seemed like to me. Now it's time for ET to come on stage. So ET comes out, she's wearing a blue outfit from head to toe, and she has this cute little wig on, and she kind of shows off her wig and her outfit really quickly, and then she pulls the wig off her head, and she immediately goes to run to fight Rollie. Now she slipped on her back, okay? Somebody said, I think Santana said at the end of the reunion that Rollie spit water out on the floor and that's why she slipped and fell. But to me, it looked like she slipped and fell because of the way that the floor was. So I don't know. All I know is that she ran over there ready to fight Rollie and she ended up slipping on her back. And that's when Rollie ended up hitting her all up in her face. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of bummed that she ended up slipping on her back, because I kind of wanted to see what would have happened if they actually got a fair fight with each other. But look, I'm not opposed to Rollie spitting water out on the floor, because we've seen ET do that last season multiple different times when she was fighting people. So if it's good for her to do it, then somebody else can do it back to her. But Rollie did kind of try to squash her beef with ET at this reunion, because after they fought, Rollie said that she did not want to fight ET again because she loves her and they had a real friendship, and that she just did not want to fight her again. And ET didn't care about anything that Rollie was saying, because she ended up swinging on Rollie again, and they kind of got into a little bit of a scuffle with each other, and security broke it up immediately. So there's no recovering this friendship. So I think that Rollie needs to let it go. There's nothing that's going to fix this friendship between the two of them, in my opinion. But I'm sorry, I started cackling like an ugly cackle when, you know, ET put her wig back on her head and she started doing a little dance and Rollie started singing the Dora theme song, because I'm not gonna lie, the wig definitely was giving Dora. But when it was time for everybody to give their final thoughts and everything kind of calmed down on stage, Mariah Lynn comes back out of nowhere and she has these sunglasses on, because obviously, you know, Bianca busted her all up in her face, so she had to put on sunglasses to hide everything. And I thought she left, so I was surprised she actually ended up coming back out. I will say Bianca definitely took the win in that fight with Mariah, but it looked like she was a little bit scared to fight Asian Doll, because you can see in the clip that they showed at the reunion that as soon as Asian Doll came out on stage, that's when Bianca decided to leave. Now, I don't know if it's because she was afraid of her. I have no idea, but that's just what it seemed like. Now, when it was Sapphire's turn to give her final thoughts, she ended up saying that she's hurt by the Tinkerbella and Meatball situation, which I don't understand why she cares about it, because if Meatball and Tinkerbella don't care about it and they just fought each other a million times at this reunion, why are you still bringing it up like you want them to reconcile? There's no reconciling this friendship, because they said that they've been beefing before they came on the show. So I just didn't really see the point in Sapphire bringing that up, because that caused drama all over again, because then Tinkerbella and Meatball started yelling stuff out to each other. Mind you, they're sitting right next to each other. Meatball was sitting right behind Tinkerbella, so Tinkerbella throws a water bottle at Meatball, which she misses. So Meatball picks up a chair and she tries to throw it at Tinkerbella, but to me, it looked like Anna was actually the one that ended up getting hit with the chair instead. So if I was Anna, I would have took the chair and throw it back at Meatball, because if she's gonna throw something, make sure you're throwing it at the right person, not somebody who's just standing there and they're not a part of your drama. Then ET is so sneaky, because while Tinkerbella and Meatball are going at it, that's when ET comes out of nowhere and she starts running towards Rollie. So the two of them run at each other and they start fighting, which nobody could really see too much of that fight because it was in the corner. But I was shocked that that even happened. But you have to keep your eyes open during these reunions, because when there's a fight breaking out in one place, then the other person takes advantage so they can go fight the person they want to fight, because they know security is too busy with the other fight. So that was basically the end of the reunion, because then Santana and Janisha started giving their thoughts on the reunion as a whole. I will say that sometimes Saucy Santana was doing a little bit too much with hyping up fights. However, I do think that he was a good choice as a host, because he was holding people accountable. He was asking the questions that people wanted to ask, and he actually watched the season, so he knew what was going on and why people were beefing with each other. So I did like that. I didn't think that this reunion was bad. I think that this reunion was actually pretty entertaining, but Baddies Midwest is coming out really soon, so I will talk to you guys in my next video. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Baddies Caribbean. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all, and until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.